to teach survival and crafting, which in my mind go hand in hand on this game. One really big thing is you will always see people around you, so definitely watch out, especially with people being around. I am in a safe zone, it's not a huge deal. But I am out in the safe zone right outside the east gate, up a little north, and I have a bunch of boar. I also have very little food. I've drank all my wine from that last video. That stuff went quick. What I'd like to do is actually kill some boars, and while I kill the boars, I want to actually collect their meat. Now they're running from me because I am so much higher level, so you want to try to get 2 shots in. Normally, I do not remember them running this much, but you want to just lead if you can, and get your boars. Now what I'm going to do is, the reason I say farm boar is boars give you venison, which are HP. Even if your stamina is low, at least your HP could be fine. And that's what you want. So what I'm going to do here is just farm a couple boars and butcher them. Butchering is part of your crafting for farming and forestry. Does not seem like that one wants to give me anything. You can farm foxes, wolves, or anything of the sort. Wolves and the boars are the only ones who actually give the venison. So what you're going to do is you're going to go up to forestry and farming, and you're going to look at boar butchering. I have 2 dead boars again, so I want to craft those. Now, given you want to do this for like 20 minutes or something just to get some free XP, they're really easy to kill, but you get tons of venison. And you'll also get what are tendons. Tendons are later used in weapon forging for weapons themselves. Alright, now that I'm done actually farming boars, I've got my food, I'm ready to go hunting again. I've actually noticed that I've made some money. I have 6 silver. The reason that I am back in town with this 6 silver is because I want to try my hand at crafting. That is the whole point of this video here. What I'm going to do is, now that I do have 6 silver, is the first thing I like to do is go to the bags and just buy me 1 large bellow. As you can see, I'm actually getting pretty full. I need to sell some of the stuff, get rid of it, want to keep my materials, I'm gaining more. You know, you got to watch that. So after I buy a bag, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a slot for 1 silver, less than 1 silver. And I'm going to take the bag that I got, and I'm going to open it up like that. And in fact, I'm going to open a second slot for a little bit more money and buy another bag. Oh boy. There we go. And I'm going to buy 1 more bag right there. Now, after that, since I still have 6 silver, what I want to do is I want to buy all the recipes that I need. You got your firewood, you want to double click and make sure that it actually comes to you. Looks like, there we go. Twine, Warstead. Ah, it's bleeding through the screen, that's what it's doing. I got worsted, I want my threads. See, that is a real big issue with this game, is it likes to bleed through when you're buying stuff. So get my threads, my charcoal, my clay kneading. And what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to buy all the recipes here, because I don't know them all. Some of them I did learn, like the pine processing I already did learn. So I'm going to have that one extra. I learned most of those, but not all of them. And you're not going to need the boar butchering. The old, you're going to need the new, so just get that. And as I say, just keep going down the list and make sure you get everything that you need. Some of these things will say that I have actually learned them. That's fine. Now you can see that I am probably just about out of room. Yeah. Let's see if we can buy the last little bit. Nope. So what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to learn every single one of them. I'm just going to double click, left click, and just keep going. Now the game does take a second to catch up. It's not a huge deal. Even in these books, if you do know some of the recipes, don't worry, it will learn all of them for you. This book, I accidentally bought too much, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Now as you can see, I still got quite a bit of money left. I need to buy the last couple of recipes. Not a huge deal. Go back to the recipes tab, and I buy the last couple. And I memorize every single one of them. Most of these are materials that he's giving me. Most of these will be used in crafting actual armor or weapons or other things to go towards them. Flax processing, already know it. I picked up along the way while I was adventuring, more than likely. Now this is actually going to get you into the crafting area. This is going to get you asking questions like, where do I get this and how do I get this? The quick answer is use common sense as best as you can. And the reason I say that is because if you want something to mine, if you need rocks or coal or something of the sort, then you need to go to the mines, which that is on your map right here. It is the second flag out south of your town. Always the second one. The first one is your farms. And if you need stuff for tailoring, your farms usually do carry the flax. That, or you can go up to the town above Audestine and actually buy all the more recipes and buy flax thread. Now when you come back to these 5 merchants that we showed you earlier, they are actually going to have more recipes. So you're going to need to go down the list and actually just go around and buy all the recipes. Some of these will be duplicates, so don't buy them if you don't need them. And what you want to keep doing is getting all the ones you do need. Throughout the whole entire game, recipes are important. You will gain them from mobs, higher mobs later on, but mainly the new ones are all from here. These will give you armors to make, these will give you more materials, and the possibility to make some of the top tier gear later on once your skill is actually worked up. Now the problem is everybody has a skill that they want to work up. I do not recommend going armor smithing and weapon smithing at the same time. The main reason is they both require coal, and weapon smithing requires a lot of charcoal. So say I want to do weapon forging. The main thing I'll do with weapon forging is I will find something to make that is easy. Right now, what is easy to make would be pour handles and handles. They give me XP of 108 all the way up to level 7. So what I would do is go out and farm as much wood as I could. I have 22 pine on me right now. I'm going to click the max, and as you can see I switched there because I checked what materials were available, and that's what this little arrow lets me do. Now I'll start crafting. It will give me XP up until level 7 of max value. Once I've hit that, then I want to switch to regular handles that are level 2 to 15, meaning up until level 15 I'll get good XP. This is typically the way that I level all crafting. I find something that takes 1 to 2 materials that I can get easy, and I just mass craft them. Now these handles are going to come in later for when I actually create things like the simple sword or the iron woodcutter's axe. Pour handles, you know, solid handle, it will take whatever. Another thing is, in tailoring I find is the easiest to do and probably the best to do. If you go to the farms, which are located directly outside of your main town, that's for the Ishmir, this is for the Midlander, they have flax. Or you can go to the original Faith Order or Audestine and buy flax thread, and you can start crafting things for the tailoring. Now these guys here, they just gave me a bunch of recipes for tailoring, so it actually makes it easier. I can go get flax threads to make flax canvas and level everything up just by doing that. Right now I don't have that many recipes for light. I will end up buying the rest of them. The armor smith guys on the other side are also the ones who have more recipes for me and more armor smithing recipes than these guys do. And they also have weapon smithing. Now you're going to see I've depleted some of my money, but not too much. 6 silver was just enough, and I got that by farming mobs and actually leveling up, killing creatures, doing whatever it takes and loot everything that you see. Sell whatever you don't need, and use any recipe that you get. Now I don't have anything in the way of materials, so that is the next step. Once you do actually buy all the recipes from these merchants, and you actually look at where these merchants are, this is the back of the church, the back right of the church. So if you're facing the church, you go to the back and to the right, and you will get the tailoring mobs. You got to go to the back left and go through these little archways to get to the blacksmith. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy the rest of the recipes there. Once I buy all the recipes, I need to figure out materials that I need. If I want to actually start crafting weapon smithing, a good way to do it is by killing boars and working the tendons into what are called bowstrings, tendon bowstrings. That's a good way to get your level to start going up while you're still exploring the world, the open world, for materials. Now, the open world is covered in wood, limonite, pyrite, and sometimes some random coal and other things along the way, mushrooms and some other stuff. If you want pyrite and limonite, there are like two places to go, and that is mainly made for making iron. If you want flax, you want to either go to one of those towns and buy it, or you want to harvest it from the farm. When you harvest it from the farm, in my opinion, it's a little harder work, but it can save you money. Also, the tendon bowstrings, these are the tendons. You'll be able to get a recipe from these guys to actually make the tendon bowstrings. And once you do, you're going to be on your way. You're going to have a lot of questions about what you should get and what you should do. My suggestion is go to every town and buy all the recipes that you don't have. My other suggestion is to learn what materials are. If you want coal and rocks, like rare rocks, you want to go to the mines, which is the second flag out. You want to make sure they're capped in blue, but you can mine there. Every 10 minutes they do respawn. Flax is at the first one. If you want wood, I would randomly explore outwards. Throughout the whole map there is wood, different types, pine being closer, yew being further away. If you want open world pyrite, there is a place of atrocities right where my cursor is, and it runs right along this place. It is river, it is below the bridge, it is only on the Midlander side, it has tons of pyrite. Other than that, up here, in this little hump for the Ishmeers, where this little kidney is, that is another place right next to the water that there is tons of pyrite. You take pyrite plus wood billets and you make yourself iron lumps. And this is a way that you make grivnas to actually start forging your way forward. You're going to need a lot of them, and you're going to need a lot of wood in general to be working up weaponsmithing or even armor smithing. After that, it is all out to you to explore and find your own mats. I hope this helps. And if there is any actual questions, just don't hesitate to ask me in game or ask in global. A lot of people are very nice. If you can't find a recipe, definitely ask. It could be a drop. Higher level recipes do drop from mobs more tending to the north. And I would find that the Rawbritters right here above the mountain fort and the raiders in this area and right here do drop the most. As where Raggy is where the skull is, and he is a named boss, he will drop high level recipes. And Brandon is also a named boss in this little cul-de-sac of trees who also drops high level recipes.